Does your E major chord sound like this? And you want it to sound like this? If you're a total beginner guitarist and you're starting from scratch, we're going to be looking at ways to fix your E major chord and also to work on some simple strumming and picking patterns to get your strumming hand working too. So stick around. So here is the E major chord. You can see the diagram right here, but let's just get clear on the fingering so that you're absolutely sure. So this low E string, the 6th string, is not played by a finger, so it's just open. That's why there is an O at the top of that string on the guitar chord chart. The 5th string, which is the A string, you've got your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of this string, this A string, this 5th string. And just a little reminder, these metal bars going across are the frets, fret lines, fret bars, whatever you want to call them, but the frets. Then we have your 3rd finger also on the 2nd fret, but this time of the D string. This is the 4th string. Your 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the G string, which is the 3rd string. And then the B string, the 2nd string, and the E string are open. They're not, you're not using your fingers. And again, they also have the 2 O's or zeros, whatever you want to call them, on the in the guitar chord diagram. And it's a lovely chord. It's a beautiful chord actually. I think it's great because it sounds really full, it sounds very bright. It's a very happy kind of chord and I absolutely love it. But let's talk about possible reasons why you're having trouble with this chord. Now some people think this is like such an easy peasy kind of chord, but if you're just starting out, these easy peasy chords can often be pretty tricky and really hard to navigate. So let's just think about reasons why, let's talk about reasons why it might be going wrong. Now let's start with your arm. Okay, so your arm, this is my fretting hand, arm, wrist, whatever, and how you really want it to be is kind of like this here, right? You see this, you kind of want to imagine that you're holding a tray or something like that. So you've kind of got, it's very flat here, and you've got this angle there from the elbow. What is that, 90 degrees? I don't know, math was never my strong point. And so it's kind of like that. You don't want this, you don't want this, and you most certainly don't want this, right? So something like that. So when you come to putting it on your guitar, you've got this here, and you've kind of got this part of the hand sort of under here, right? Just kind of preparing you. And now, when you play the chord, all right, you want to make sure that as I said, your wrist is not coming like that. Your elbow or your whole body is not coming down. You don't really want anything like this. So it's got to be kind of like that. And you can see, if I do this, you can see the angle here is pretty, what did I say, 90 degrees or something like that. And your arm your wrist is pretty straight. It's not bending like that or like this or like that. Now something else to think about is also your fingernails, all right? What you want to do is you want to keep them short, all right? Keep them short, don't have them long. Make sure you trim them as often as you can. And because one thing you don't want when you're playing is you don't want your fingernails to be digging in to the fretboard. This part of the guitar, the wooden part, the fretboard. You don't want that happening because one, it's painful, and two, it's going to affect the sound of your chord. And this kind of leads me into the next part. Because what you want to be doing with your fingers is you want to be kind of arching your fingers like this here, okay? And you want to use your fingertips. The fingertips should be on the frets, on the fretboard, right? And if you've got long nails, trying to get your fingertips to use your fingertips is going to be really tricky because your nails are going to be getting in the way, which is why you want to cut them. And so we've got this arching, and one of the things you also want to think about, if arching is difficult for you, if you can't, because you want to get some good reach without doing this, put your thumb at the back of the guitar. I found when I started out, I got pretty short fingers, and when I started out, I found that was the best way for me. Having my thumb here, let's see if you can see that, sort of, whoops, let's get the string out of the way, like that there, in that position. So it's kind of right behind the second finger. And having it in that position really helps to give me good reach and helps get my fingers coming around the fretboard like this, right? And because also this kind of leads me to my next point, because if you haven't got good arching and good reach, what will happen is you might find this part, this fleshy part of your hand is touching the high E string. So when you play, you're getting that. So a good arching of your fingers, getting the reach of your fingers and the arching around the fretboard, and as I said, using your thumb behind, at the back behind your second finger, will give you, right, will let you get that high E string to ring out. Now, if you're finding this helpful, thanks for joining me, and why not consider liking and subscribing to this channel. Okay, so we've thought about the kind of the hand and the wrist and how it should be, but what about the correct position on the fretboard itself? Now your fingers, now and you look at the diagram and you look at that's a very general way of playing it, because that's not exactly how your fingers are going to be. But you do want, like the kind of the general rule of finger is to have your fingertips just behind the fretboard. Okay, not the fretboard, just behind the fret line. All right, so it's like that. And so, you know, you're kind of, this part of your finger, that part of your finger there is just really just touching a little bit. Now that's like the perfect way. Okay, and it kind of works for the first finger and the third finger, right? Because you can do that. Now the problem is, excuse me if that looks pretty rude, that. Now this finger here, there's no way you can squeeze that in, right? So it looks exactly like the diagram. There's no way. And so what will happen is this finger will just be, your second finger will just be there. So you can see there's a bit of daylight, there's a bit of a gap between the fret and your finger. But that's helping you get this finger in, right? And if you don't have a gap there, then this finger will be on the fret, giving you this really crappy sound. That might sound good, but that's not good. So this finger is the one that's closest to the fret, but this one is just behind. All right, there's a bit of a gap. What this kind of leads to is telling you how much pressure you're going to need when pressing down on the fretboard. Because if you've got your fingers in the right position, then you're not going to need to press down too hard. You will need a bit of force, obviously, but you're not going to need a whole load. But if your fingers are in the wrong place, so for example, if you find this finger or these fingers closer that way, closer to the other fret number 1, what happens is, two things are going to happen, right? You're going to get buzzing, right? And that's not nice. And the second thing is that because of the buzzing, to get rid of it, you're going to have to press down really hard, which after a few minutes is going to be really painful, right? Really, really painful. So if you've got your fingers in the correct position, you're not going to need too much pressure. And you know what it's like when you first start playing, right? Your fingers sting and there's possible bit of bleeding. But if you've got your fingers in the right place, you won't need so much pressure. You won't need to press down so hard. Now, if you want a little bit of more personalized one-to-one lessons, I do private one-to-ones on a platform called Till. There's a link down below in the description. Okay, so we've talked about the arm, the wrist, the fingers, but a little bit about the chord itself. Now, with this is a 6-string chord, right? Because we can play all 6 strings. It's fantastic like that. All the strings, you don't have to worry about not playing this string or not playing that string. Everything should ring out. Now, one of the things you should think about doing when, not just for this chord, but for every new chord that you learn, is to make sure that when you form the chord shape on the guitar, you want to make sure that all the strings are ringing out clearly. So picking something like this, so picking from string 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so when you pick each individual string, they should all ring out. And if they're not ringing out, for example, you might do this. Oh, problem there. What could it be? It's your arching. So maybe arch a little bit better, maybe put the thumb behind the fretboard. All right. Or, for example, if you've got this, okay, what happens is, again, that's related to the arching of the fingers. If your fingers aren't arched correctly, what tends to happen is that, so for example, this finger, your third finger, if it's not arched properly, it'll even just a little touch, and it will cause a problem with the next string. And the same with the first finger. If this finger is kind of bending over a little bit, then without a doubt, you're going to dampen the second string, the B string, like that. So checking everything rings out will be a good way to see what's not working and why. Now, a simple strumming and picking practice that you can do. We're just sticking with the E major chord. We're not playing any other chords. It's like this. Have a listen to this. I'm going to play 4 strums and then 4 picks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 5, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's happening is that you're strumming a little pattern, a simple pattern, and your right hand, your picking hand is, well, I'm right-handed, so it's my right hand. If you're left-handed, it's obviously going to be your left. And you're strumming 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're picking the strings, and what you're picking is mirroring what you're strumming. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick, 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 pick. 1, 2, and so you can change the rhythm. So for example, you could do this. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 6, 5, 4 and 3. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what you're strumming is mirrored by what you're picking. And all I'm picking, I'm not doing anything particularly clever with the picking part. All I'm picking is one time I'm going to be starting with the first string, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Or I'm starting with the 6th string, 6, 5, 4 and 3. 6, 5, 4 and 3. And when I'm doing the kind of 4 and, it's a down pick and then an up pick. So 6, so down, 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 up, down. down, 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 up, down. And what this is doing, not only is it giving you a chance to check that your strings are all ringing out, it's giving you a chance to practice your strumming a little bit, and also getting your picking to really start taking shape. But it's also giving you a chance to hear how the chord sounds. You know, you're kind of getting that sound of the E major chord in your brain. And the other thing is, you're going to start to hear if you are in tune or not in tune. So every time you start a session, always tune up. And I've got a video that can help you with that right here. And when you're in tune, or from the start of your session, and you do that every time you play, over time you'll gradually develop your ear, and you'll learn to hear if you're in tune or if you're out of tune. And if you are out of tune, I've got another video here that might help you. So give this a little try. Just down, 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 pick, 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 down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So that, I think, is a really great way to kind of make sure that you're playing the chord cleanly, also giving you great practice with strumming and picking, and for your, pointing at my head, and for your ear. Now, if you want to continue with your guitar journey, here is a playlist of chords for beginners. Give them a try, work on the little techniques that we've practiced in this guitar lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy strumming.